All right, guys, so in yesterday's video, going over the highlights and takeaways from the Green Bay Packers and Baltimore Ravens joint practice, I mentioned at that point I didn't have any 11v11 highlights. As we all know, you're technically not allowed to film these during Packers practices, but they usually end up popping up on the internet. And that's no different with this. And I told you guys if I got my hands on some 11v11 footage, I'd make another video. So that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to go over the 11v11 footage that I do have from yesterday's practice. A practice where the offense really dominated this Ravens defense, especially in the red zone period, scoring 4 touchdowns. And we have all 4 of those scores here in today's video. So definitely stay tuned. Also, go down, click that subscribe button if you are a new viewer. We just eclipsed 57,000 subscribers. Guys, I want to take a second to seriously thank you so much for all the endless support here on this channel, allowing me to do the thing that I love, talk Green Bay Packers, give you guys information, give you guys Packers news, updates, analysis. All of that, you guys make it happen. So again, I really appreciate everyone that has been subscribed, all the new subscribers, people that leave comments. You guys seriously make this happen, so thank you. I'll keep trying my best to be the one stop that you can find everything for the Green Bay Packers and also find things that you can't find anywhere else, such as a plethora of Packers practice clips throughout this entirety of training camp. So without further ado, let's dive right down into the clips. And on this first one, it's going to be a deep ball up the left sideline, Jordan Love to Romeo Doubs against defensive back Brandon Stevens. Just a simple inside release on that defensive back, kind of a little bit of a floater of a football, you know, not the most direct throw, but it gets to its target, and Romeo Doubs goes up there and makes a solid catch. The Jordan Love to Romeo Doubs connection has been going strong this season, and you could see why. You know, Romeo Doubs on paper doesn't really wow you in any athletic category, but all this guy does is get open, and all this guy does is make plays. He runs routes very well. He can high point a football. He has very strong hands. And you can see why Jordan Love trusts him, you know, kind of floating the ball over the middle in between the cornerback and the safety. That's a risky throw to make, but Jordan Love knows he can kind of fit it right in between those two, and his guy, Romeo Doubs, will likely come down with it for this big gain here. And oh man, I gotta show this clip. Although it's the second team offense and it's Michael Pratt, it is a hell of a catch by wide receiver Grant DeBose on the left sideline here, holding on with strong hands, fighting through that defensive back there. I mean, this guy is fighting for a roster spot, and he's making plays not only on offense in that first preseason game. Wasn't a great preseason game 2 for any wide receiver, really, but he also made a really nice special teams tackle, and then you see things like this in practice. Let me know what you guys think. I don't really know if the Packers can keep this guy off their 53-man roster, and I know they have high expectations for someone like Malik Heath as well. You know, do they keep 7 players? Do they end up releasing Bo Melton and putting him on the practice squad, which would be a little bit of a shock, but you can't sit here and lie and say Grant DeBose and Malik Heath haven't done better in preseason, in training camp, than Bo Melton. And we're high on Bo Melton here. Like, definitely, I'm high on that guy. But man, when you see Grant DeBose making plays like this, you know, really showing his potential as a wide receiver. I broke down his tape last year after being drafted, and this is the exact type of wide receiver that I thought he could be. You know, an outside type of guy, aggressive outside wide receiver, possession, jump ball type of wide receiver. Man, he has showed it this training camp. He looked great preseason week 1, and now he's making plays like this against Ravens defenders. It's impressive. All right, so now we have the 4 clips from the red zone period where the Packers scored 4 out of 4 times. I believe Jordan Love was 6 for 7. 4 touchdowns, 2 of which went to Romeo Doubs. So here's the first one, and it's going to be a touchdown to Romeo Doubs. You're kind of looking at the top of the screen. It's going to be kind of a reverse zig route by Romeo Doubs, kind of like a shake route where he runs almost like a zig, sits for a second, then breaks to the outside. We see Romeo Doubs on this route a lot on the goal line so far this training camp, and simply because he knows how to run it really well, and the timing is exceptional between him and Jordan Love, and it's very hard to stop a route like this in man coverage. I mean, you're kind of already running a zig, which is a hard route to stop, and then you're kind of turning it into a shake route back to the outside. Very, very nice route by Romeo Doubs. I see the Packers scoring on this a bunch in 2024. Here we have the touchdown pass to tight end Tucker Kraft, and it's a nice tight end screen with lead blockers out in front. You see Sean Rhyan and Josh Myers out in front. The screen game is something the Packers have been struggling with the past couple of seasons. I feel like they've been decent with tight end screens. They have not been too great with running back screens. It's really nice to see this in a live session. I know it's not technically live tackling, where some of those defenders may have played this a little bit more aggressive or ran in and tried to hit Tucker Kraft at the goal line harder. Obviously, that doesn't happen in a joint practice, or else fights are going to ensue. And if it was a live game, maybe, it would be a little bit different. But nonetheless, the setup of this play looks nice. The block and release by Tucker Kraft, both Sean Rhyan and Josh Myers kind of settling for a second, then getting upfield and being two massive lead blockers for Tucker Kraft here for the touchdown. Nice play. So in this play, we're going to see Christian Watson's jump ball against Kyle Hamilton. We talked about it in yesterday's video, and we're all sitting here going, man, I wish we could see that play. So here it is. I mean, isolation, Christian Watson, top of the screen, goal line situation. Even has Kyle Hamilton in outside shade and still gets to the outside of him here. Christian Watson out of the slot. There's a receiver all the way to the right. Going to be kind of a pick route, slant out, slant corner type of concept here. So let's let this play through. You see kind of a pick route, but Kyle Hamilton doesn't really get picked, and Christian Watson simply just goes up, uses his frame, uses his body to box out Hamilton, and really nice hands there. Really nice strong hands to bring that into his body there, not allow Kyle Hamilton to kind of get in there and knock that thing out. Very impressive contested catch here by Christian Watson. He's underrated in that part of his game. I feel like he makes a lot of these catches in the end zone. I mean, we saw it last year against the Chiefs where he's making these contested catches in the end zone, and it's impressive for a wide receiver that's on the lighter side. Sure, he's 6'5", but he's more of a speed type of wide receiver, so you want to see this type of thing. You want to see this in practice, him going up there, make aggressive catches against a defensive back that's one of the best in the league, an ascending defensive back that's a super aggressive one. So I think this is great, seeing it against Kyle Hamilton more so than any other defensive back on the Ravens roster. Here's the fourth and final touchdown. The clip kind of starts a little bit late. It ends up being another pick route at the goal line where Jaden Reed's kind of running a slant and Romeo Doubs runs a quick speed out underneath. So here's the play from the beginning. You kind of see Jaden Reed off the release. He's going to pick that one defender, and Romeo Doubs is going to come quickly underneath and get wide open for a touchdown. Name a better duo, Jordan Love with Romeo Doubs on the edge of the end zone on an out route or a shake route, something of that sort for a touchdown. We saw it twice in this red zone period. We've seen it through a couple of years of Romeo Doubs, especially last year with Jordan Love, and we're going to see it a lot here in 2024. High expectations for Romeo Doubs. I think this guy can become a premier wide receiver for this Packers offense. I know a lot of people think that as well. He's been very, very impressive in camp. Probably the most consistent guy, and that's been Romeo Doubs' forte. It's just consistency. This guy is consistent. He's consistently available as well. We saw all last season, just always available, where every other wide receiver had some type of injury. Romeo Doubs really didn't. And obviously ending off the season, not looking at the San Fran game, of course, the Dallas game, I mean, he just torched that defense, torched Stephon Gilmore, your new cornerback of the Minnesota Vikings. So very excited for Romeo Doubs in 2024. But those are the clips I have. There were more on Twitter. These all surfaced from Ken Ingalls. I suggest you guys go check him out. He's a great salary cap analyst for the Green Bay Packers, does a really good job at that. I'll put his link down in the description. He posted a bunch yesterday, but then all of a sudden deleted all of them. So I'm guessing the Packers contacted him or something, because he quite literally posted like 20 different plays. Luckily, we got some screen caps of these before that happened, so I could bring them to you here on this channel. Again, these aren't my clips, but I'm just trying to bring them to you guys so we can all enjoy some practice clips that we love, because we're all sickos and we just want to watch some football. And the Packers play the Ravens on Saturday. Very excited for that as well. Final preseason game, and then of course cut down day on Tuesday. So be on the lookout for that final preseason game recap, as well as my final roster prediction before cut down day here on this channel. But I appreciate you guys coming by to the channel. If you could, please leave a like down below. It'll support the channel a ton. It's completely free to do. But I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Pack Go.